Hello, sorry I am late. I was just wrapping up Potomac and just lost all track of time because I did not realize it was a longer show.
Yeah, they gave us a little extra last night. So welcome everybody to the commentary zone, noontime edition. Today on the docket we have two housewife shows. First one up to bat is The Real Housewives of Potomac, season 6, episode 12, Reasonable or Shady. Since you were so engrossed in the show, what did you think about it?
I mean, as usual, what we've been finding out, we could really skip almost the first half of the show. If we're being honest, it just and go right to the last 20 minutes.
Oh my God. Yeah, true. True. I mean, because at the beginning of the show, it was just Grace still can't drive. Karen and Ray pretending somebody sexting him. I did like it picked up for me when Candace was having that conversation with her mom. You
Yes,
want to start
and,
there?
yes, and then Chris walked in.
Well, that was calculated.
Of course it was.
And go. And he walks in right in the middle of that
Exactly.
conversation.
Exactly.
Mm-mm-mm.
It was funny they were talking about it and stuff like that. And they're like, "Oh, prenup this, all that." I'm like, "Okay." And the mama knew, Candace, you just need to just understand that your mama was talking to everybody, and it wasn't everybody else. Quit it.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop
I
it.
mean,
No,
she
no.
knows her mom, and I'm glad that she asked her mom up front. And Dorothy is shady for saying, "Well, I can't remember what I said." Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
And shout out to production and roll that beautiful footage on cue. I'm loving
um,
production lately.
but you know what? Like, how is Candace ever supposed to stand on her own 2 feet, Mama Dot, if you just don't let her make mistakes like how you were able to make mistakes in your life? You see what I'm saying? I feel
Oh
like
yeah,
her mother's
definitely.
always hovering over her and over analyzing and over criticizing and stuff like that. And it's just making Candace a mean and bitter person, much like you, Mama Dot. Um, just let her make her mistakes. If she wants to have her husband as her husbander, and she has not seen all of the disastrous pairings of that in history and just the music industry alone, um, who are you to say it's her life? Let her do it. Chris saying that their agreement is their marriage document and the prenup. Well, yay, there's a prenup. Um, and that he never asked anybody to pay any of the bills that have his name on it. Okay, sure. Um, I'll take that with a grain of salt, Chris,
I mean,
because a part of
yeah.
your life may not have your name on it, but a part of your life was subsidized by Mama Dot.
I mean, yeah. Like let's be honest. He said like not with his name on it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe most of the bills are in Candace's name. Maybe, possibly.
I think that's the easy way out of it. But in the last house that was her mom's house. So technically she is subsidizing something. It might not have your name on it, but she's
Hmm.
subsidizing aspects of your life. So just be quiet. I don't know. Anywho, let's move on to the next scene that I felt was forced, which was Mia and the kids and Gordon inviting her mom for ice cream. Um, and when I say forced, I don't feel like her mom ever wants to be there.
Mm.
I don't feel like her mom is ready to have a relationship with her because of what she said a couple weeks ago about how much Mia reminds her of Mia's father.
Right.
You know, and Mia needs to stop throwing into her face that she has this tight relationship with her younger sister. Well, maybe she doesn't have the tragedy that she had with the younger sister's parent that she had with yours. Like this woman, like I didn't realize that she went to jail or prison or whatever. I thought it
Hmm.
was just rehab. Like, she's been through a lot. And I think it's unreasonable for Mia to expect it to turn around like this. And I think it's unreasonable for her to be like throwing out little digs at the mom. And I didn't like how she said, well, when you got out of rehab, I asked you to be our nanny. That's your mom. You could have phrased that better and said, when you got out
Right.
of rehab, I asked you to help us with the kids.
Exactly. She expects too much of her mother at this point in time. She's not.
And the
You
mom's not
can.
there
You
yet.
can't. Yeah, you can't. You can't say you want to move forward, but keep throwing the past up in her face.
Yes.
It's not fair to her.
And I like when you look at the mom in any of the scenes that she's with her, does she ever look comfortable? And I was saying at
No,
first, maybe it's the camera, she's not accustomed to that, but I really feel it boils down to Mia.
it does.
Okay. All right, cool. I hope they stop doing this with this lady. Give it a rest. Okay, so then we see a scene over at Wendy's house. She invites Karen and Escala. And Wendy tells Karen about her meeting with Eddie, and she thinks it went well. Escala arrives and says, "Girl, I didn't know you live in Canada. I heard that she lives really, really, really far away from everybody else. Like she's to the
Yeah.
north of everybody else."
I heard that too. Like I think it's a 45-minute drive
Mm.
from any of the ladies.
Yeah,
The way
because
I understand
Robin
it,
used to be the farthest. That's why
yes,
she was always late.
right.
But now it's Wendy who's the farthest. Does
She
she
says,
even live in Maryland?
yeah, she says because it's close to her job. It's closer to her
Okay,
job.
you go, girl. Mm-hmm. Um, we find out that Escala was an educator for 10 years.
That was super
Nice.
cool.
Yep. So what it is that Wendy is involved with a charity that's giving school supplies to the local schools. So she's asked the two ladies to come over, do assembly line to put all of the stuff into the backpacks to put in boxes to hand out, which I thought was a really great um, thing for her to do.
Yeah, it makes sense. She's a professor, and education is really close to her heart. And a scholar being an educator, and Karen like is big on education, particularly for women of color. So it just made sense that those three did that scene together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um, they what else do they talk? This is where Wendy brings up doing a girls' weekend with the husband, or I should say a couples weekend,
A couples weekend.
right? And Wendy asks if Juan will come, and Karen says, based on history, no. And then I don't know who said this. Someone asked, "Who will Giselle be with, or who will she bring," or something like that. And someone said, "Her luggage." Who the hell said those things?
I thought it was Wendy.
It was Wendy. I know it was Wendy at Giselle's party who said, "And you could bring your luggage." But I couldn't figure out who said it at Wendy's house. But Shady, Shady, Shady. And they do discuss how Mia was talking to Mother Dot at the video shoot and asking her inappropriate questions about Candace's marriage. And that's interesting because it relates to something that happens later on in the episode. Okay, so moving on to the construction site that is the barn.
Mm, mm,
Oh
mm,
my God.
mm.
I cannot see the vision for this. I would love to see the plans of what she is doing phase by phase to see how it will make sense. But okay.
It's just what happened is that how can I put this? How can I put this? The West Wing, which I really really like. Um,
You
it
like the
looks like an
inside or
attachment.
the outside?
The inside,
Okay.
the inside is fantastic. I
Mhm.
love it. But when you look at the outside, and it's just like you built like a barn and just attached it to the house.
Mm-hmm. You know, they
Versus
showed a
her,
flashback of the original house, and I'm beginning to like that more than this.
you know what it was? It's because the West Wing doesn't match the house. Like honestly, what she kind of should have done, this is just my overall opinion, is kind of tore down the old house and built the West Wing, but I just built a bigger version of her West Wing because I like the inside a lot. I'm not gonna lie, because like how do you have?
It's two
I
different
mean,
houses
yeah, like you
mushed
have
together.
you have like the first house is like this, right?
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
just
this,
a
right?
one-story
Right.
ranch.
But then you have
And then she put a
the West Wing,
silo on the side of it.
right?
And it makes no sense.
Mm-mm.
Maybe, okay, if the original structure could not support an upper story, right?
Right.
You have enough land where you could have built a house in the round, in the square. Like you could have extended outwards. Like you didn't have to go up. And I think that's the issue that's like, huh? It just doesn't make sense. But okay, I'm gonna wait and see until she's finished because now she's building an entryway in the middle of the original structure. So maybe that'll bring some height to the middle of the house. I don't know, girl. If she builds a portico share, I am just going to lose it. Anywho, the house is under full renovation. We find out that Giselle hurt her foot, like she broke her toe or something like that. Something dropped on her foot while she was cleaning up, and she now has to be in a boot for 4 weeks. It's a very windy day, but she has a tent set up to the side of the house um, to do her event. Was it Reasonably Shady for the
Mm-hmm.
podcast with her and Robin, and she's got some food there, which she is eating before the guests get there. Her
Yep.
daughters are super, super cute. Um, Robin arrives. She goes and changes. Apparently, there was some argument or something like that about who could go in the house and who couldn't.
Yes, because she didn't want the haters using her restroom. And Robin's like, no, that's not right. I'm not on board with that because why should they be treated if we squashed everything and moved on? Why should they be treated any differently? And I agree with her.
But even if you hadn't squashed everything, do not invite anyone to your house for an event if you are not going to allow them to use the facilities on your premises. If you don't want people going into your house, then get porta potties outside. I
No, I
mean,
agree.
it's
I would
just
never. I
as
would never behave that
simple.
way though. I wouldn't just behave that way
Yeah,
though.
and for once, I was on Robin's side with that. I wish they had filmed it. Like, did they film it, or was it a conversation on the phone, or was it just
It
brought
was
up at the event?
no, it's a conversation on the phone.
It was a conversation on the phone, but that wasn't
Right.
even going in hard. Oh God, I can't. I can't. These two are just dumb. And how Giselle thinks that that's okay. I would have loved to see her as the pastor's wife and how she counseled parishioners or whatever. I would have loved
Hmm.
to see that. The ladies, one by one, arrive. Candace is the last one to get there. She's super late. Um, but they tell everyone about this bathroom dilemma. And they actually admit that the two people who were not going to be allowed inside was Karen and Wendy. And it's because they said bad things about her house. Girl, everybody says bad things about your house.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing new. They've been talking to you about your house since you bought it. I mean, so it is what it is at this point. And then I don't think Wendy really said anything either. She said, like Wendy said, she said, I didn't say anything about your house. I said what I talked about how you dress. I'm like, well,
And then they showed the flashback.
yep.
And it's true, she didn't say anything about the house. Um, when Candace finally arrives, they are actually talking about the situation about Wendy going to Candace's mom and ratting out Mia. And they're saying, was that shady or reasonable? Because this was all part of a game. Everyone was given a paddle with shady and reasonable on it. And they would ask a question, and then you had to vote whether you thought it was shady or reasonable. None of these games ever end well.
No. They're not designed to anyway, so let's be real.
But Candace might have been late.
On purpose. But that's just me.
Candace might have been late, but she came ready. Like, she came in, she got caught up to speed, and she basically said what Wendy did by telling her was not shady. It was called being a friend. And of course, Robin's trying to justify for her friend Giselle, saying, "Well, we thought it was. We're really saying, it was the incorrect time to tell you, because what if it upset you and threw you off your game, and you were supposed to be in, video mode and blah blah blah." And she's like, "Nope, the way how she said it was fine." Da da da. And so then, I think Ashley tries to jump in, and Candace shut her down immediately. "Were you there?" And I was like, good point. Yeah. Ashley, if you're not at a situation, just keep quiet.
Yeah, because you really don't have any context to go off of. You can only go off what other people say, so you kind of have to sit this one out.
And so then Candace circles back to Mia, and she's like, "I heard that you asked about who pays the bills, my breasts." When did she ask about breasts?
Yeah, I didn't get that one.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, Mia, she kind of dodges the question and starts ranting on and on about a parking lot, and no one was there to greet her, and the video was low budget. And Candace snaps back, "Your mama's low budget."
No, where I come from, she got swung on, especially since they were sitting right next to each other.
Honestly, like, who used to do this? Heavenly.
Yeah.
It took seasons to break her of that instant snapback about your mama, blah, blah, blah. And she still did it a little bit last season, but I don't think that's, she knows about Mia's mom, right?
I don't think so. She wasn't there.
Oh.
It was just Robin. It was just Robin and Giselle. That's why Giselle said that's just seemed too much. That's why she's like, yeah, that's what it was.
Jesus. Karen got her vaccine shot the day before, so she's not feeling 100%. I love that production started making everything swirly whirly every time they focused on Karen.
That was too funny.
But Karen honestly couldn't believe what was going on there at all. And Karen just blurts out about Wendy proposing the trip for the couples. Wendy then picks up and starts going one by one who has a spouse, but she doesn't say anything about Robin at all. I did not hear her say anything about Robin, and Robin got her feelings about that, saying that, she is not recognizing her relationship. And then, of course, the comment that Giselle can bring her luggage.
Exactly. That was oof. I get her point of view. I really do, because she's feeling like you just don't like me. This and that. But I think that's common. Every time she wants to talk to Wendy, it's always in conversation with around the other ladies. It's never one on one.
Oh, Ryan. Okay. Candace said that Ashley, because Ashley wasn't there when Monique, oh, with the fight, she was in the toilet. That's right. But yet she gave that written statement. It was still good though. But either way, like, I don't think you can really comment on a situation that you weren't there on. And yeah. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, Black Lavender was ready for Mia to mollywopper. Let's hope it wasn't supposed to be LSD. My goodness. Okay. Oh my God. Y'all have been in here chatting up a storm. The couples weekend looked like it's going to be extra messy and shit. Yes. Yes. I saw the preview with Gordon bending down to pick up something. Somebody help that man. Like, what? Which wife is Mia? She's 3 or 4 for him.
I thought it was the third for some reason.
Yeah, she did. She did reface the house. I just don't want to see that house until the final result. Is that bad? Oh my God.
I mean, I agree. Because I'm like,
Either that or show me the plans. I need to see the vision. I need to see the vision. Sorry, y'all. My shirt is just a little bit too big and it's all over the place. Let's see. Candace makes a good point. When God, they still continue with these questions, and of course they bring up the question regarding a friend who makes body changes after her husband's cheating rumors. Candace is tired of hearing about this. I am too, and I agreed with her on that. Let's see. Wendy is visibly fuming in her seat at this event. I think she should not have come. She should have followed her instincts and not have come.
Yes, I agree.
Because this was a whole hot mess. Let me see what else. What else? Okay, so I mean, that whole game was a disaster. None of the questions were good. Well, except the one about Karen drunk calling Robin. That was priceless. That was priceless. Karen was drunk at a party and called Robin and told her that she don't really like her and that she liked Juan better than her.
That was too funny. And Robin's like, I kind of like drunk Karen Bear because at least she's being honest. I'm like, well, okay. Go for that.
God. Drunk Karen is epic. Remember at Monique's lake
Yeah,
house?
the fireball.
Whoa.
The fire. It was the fire. It was the
Sunshinery.
fireball.
Yeah. So Sunshinery thinks me as the third wife. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was the third wife too.
Okay. I just wasn't sure. And he's got other kids too, like grown kids.
Wait a minute. Yes, because she said she's a She refers to herself as a grandmother.
A grandmother. Okay. All right. Just need to get caught up. All right. So that's all over. Wendy wants to go. Karen wants to go due to tripping out on her vaccine. And Giselle takes Candace and Escala because Candace has never been to Giselle's house. Escala gets halfway and sees the stairs to nowhere and all of the rough terrain that she has to go over. And she goes, no, I'm going to go back to the tent and sit this one out. Call me when the renovation is finished. Candace goes in and she walks around the house. She loves textured wallpaper and a toilet. Good for her. Then they need to move Candace's car to let the other ladies out because she's blocked everyone in. Candace gives Grace the keys to her car. Now, this episode opened up with Grace running over traffic cones and not figuring out how to park within with that little itty bitty teeny Fiat, right?
Right.
So Candace has a Lexus SUV, which is a lot bigger. And she gives her keys to this young lady who does not have her license yet. She has her permit and is still learning.
That was too funny. I'm sorry. It was hilarious.
I would not have done that, but okay, Candace, you're a good person for doing that. And obviously your insurance is up to date and you believe that Giselle will pay for any damages. Grace gets downstairs. This is the Robin that I like. Robin asked her if she was good with going. And do you want me to come with you? And so Grace says, yeah, come with me, just for support. Like, I like that Robin who was openly concerned about a child and not the other one that's always playing, I don't know, defensive end for Giselle. Just saying. They get in the car. How could Robin say that it was nothing when we all heard her scratch up that woman's car? How could Robin say it was nothing and then didn't even check it?
That is too funny.
Well, after the grand tour of the barn, Candace goes down and sees her car, the hubcap, the tire, and then like a part of the under part of the front fender bumper was kind of scratched up from that rock. Giselle, get your pocketbook.
Exactly.
Oh my God. She's still learning. Yeah, she is. And that's why I would not have given her my car keys.
Right.
I would not have given her my car keys. But again, I guess production is going to pay for that or something. It was just too easy for Candace to give her the keys. Like, anyway, good on them. I think the episode ends off with Candace screaming out Giselle's name.
I didn't get that far.
You didn't?
Get that far.
Okay.
No.
You saw Candace's top for the event. I feel like she's wearing a lot of these like off the shoulder deep V tops. I don't like them. I felt like I wanted to be pulling up her top for her.
Right. They're just a little too low for her. They need support.
The shoes were cute, though. The shoes were cute. Anywho, that was the episode. Let's go on over to... No, that is not right. Hold on. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 2, Episode 3, Fishing for the Truth.
For me, this is all about the ice fishing and the blow up. That's pretty much all it really was. There was really nothing else to this. It was interesting. Like, where do you want to start?
Well, the first part, I just want to say, Heather, you keep on going with your business because it looked like she's trying to expand again.
Yes.
Congratulations. Go get it while the getting is good. Who's Carrie? Oh, who's this girl, Carrie, that they go snow biking? The hell was that Jen took them?
Is she a new friend?
Is she?
I don't. We won't find out till later to see if she's a recurring friend. Cause we don't. I don't know Carrie. I'm sorry.
Cause she just said bye. Like, did she say hi? Like, she was just there. And Lisa and Jen were there, and they all three went, what is it? Snow skiing? Ski biking. Sorry, ski biking. That activity, you couldn't catch me doing.
Right.
Just saying. But Jen thought that she could out ski Lisa, who's an expert skier. And Jen is the first one to fall. But this is where Jen asked Lisa to get everybody's the full name from their ID, height, weight, eye color. I don't even know why she needed eye color. It did sound like she was stealing identities. Good Lord. But she then says, she wants to take everybody ice fishing. So they need the weights to determine how many can get on the ice. My God. Candace Carr, I know it has a backup camera. Not that she will rely on that as a new driver, but Robin should have been watching it. But the backup camera, she hit the front tire though. I thought it was the front tire. Anyway, like there was nothing helping her. I think that car was a little bit out of her
too big for her.
Driving level. Yeah. She's learning on a very small car, and that was a lot for her as a new driver. And I thought it was cute. She was like, so where do I put the key in? Oh, it's starting up. I thought that was cute. Whitney wore her life jacket just in case. Yep. She was threatened by Jen, saying that she was going to drown her in the lake behind her house. Ugh. Sunshinery, I love ice fishing. They did it so differently than when we do it in Maine when I visit my cousins. My uncle goes ice fishing in Canada as well. And how he described it is like him and his buddy are in like this little hut that's on the ice, and they drill a hole and they fish in there. It just sounds cold and miserable to me. I'm not gonna lie. And them running back and forth between holes was kind of scaring me. Let's see. Mary and her son have lunch. Is her son high during this episode segment?
It was more like awkward, like he really didn't want to be there. That's the way it looked to me.
It looked to me like he was high and had the munchies. And I'm not sure, like, how often do you eat with your kid that you don't know that he eats like that?
That's what I was wondering too. It's like he was forced to be there. Like, okay, I need you for this scene, so come along.
Poor thing. Is Robert Sr. still in Florida?
I'm going to have to say yes.
Interested?
Well, you know what? I don't think he's interested because remember she said he was stuck in Florida for 6 months and was afraid to fly back. So to me, that means he's back in Utah.
Okay. I did agree with one thing with regards to this luncheon that Mary had with Robert Jr. Go into the Army. Like, you want to move out, but who do you think is going to pay the bills? Are you working? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Like, where are you going as of now? That's the main thing.
It seems like he has absolutely no goals in life. Like, what about school? What about future career goals? Like, nothing. So when she said go in the Army or something, I was like, yep, you'll find some direction there. Then we see Dewey and Jenny, and they do a little science experiment thing with the kids. And then once that's finished, the kids automatically clean up everything. Like, can I borrow those kids from my place? I need help. But Dewey and Jenny sit down and they have a conversation, and he brings up wanting more children. I don't think this is a real storyline because their daughter is older. Like, if you wanted more kids, wouldn't you have had them right after you had your daughter? And then that was before she said what she said. 9 miscarriages and C-sections. She's 45. He's a doctor. He knows how dangerous this could be for her.
Right.
I was
that's what she said. That's what she said.
Yeah, I agreed with her. Because before that, I was just like, girl, y'all should have had these kids like right after you had the littlest girl. You know, not wait 9 years or whatever, how old that girl is. It wasn't make sense to me. And then when she throws in the miscarriages and the C-sections, and she's 45, boy, where are you going with kids? You have them.
Right. That's my whole thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When men want to try to impress upon their wives to have more children, especially in these kind of situations, I'm like, you need to sit down, or y'all can adopt or something. But no, leave her alone.
Mm-hmm. So I'm beginning to suspect that this was just for storyline.
I can see that.
Then we see a filler scene with Heather and her girls. One has pep rally, the other one is trying on ballet shoes. But she asked the oldest girl if she would go back to the Mormon church, and she says no. One of her daughters, though, would like to go back, and Heather immediately says, do you want me to go with you? And I like Heather as a mom. Even though these are just filler scenes, I like her as a mom.
Heather's always putting her daughters first, and what she just wants what's best for them, but them to make their own decisions because she didn't have that choice. So I like the fact that she's very thoughtful to her children.
Okay, so Ryan says Mary was asking all those questions, but it doesn't sound like she was preparing him for anything at all. Yup.
But she even said she did everything for him.
Kids are great. Heather nurtures and guides her kids. Mary doesn't even know that boy. Oof.
That's true. I can see that because they don't really have, like the way it's just the way Heather talks to her kids. She's not intrusive, but she's knowledgeable, and her kids feel comfortable coming to her. It doesn't seem to be that way with Mary and her son.
Okay, so Tracy says that was so sad. That's a lot for anyone to go through. Yes.
And for her to even deliver 3 kids, it's like, whoa. Even that in of itself is a miracle.
Yeah. Okay. Whose son is Brooks? Mary's? No, Brooks belongs to Meredith. Oh, and there was a good scene where and that's next coming up. Meredith has some sort of like she's showing off designers at her house for a selected group of friends, and Mary is one of those friends. And apparently Mary has become good friends with Brooks during this period with the back and forth with Jen. And so she sat down and she spoke with Brooks, after like they showed off the designers and whatnot. And I meant to watch this back. It started off okay with her counseling Brooks, but then it went off into something about poop and farting, and I don't know what happened.
She said, "Shh, be quiet," and they're like, "What?" She's like, "I have to poop." I was like, "No, just no, just no."
Oh my
God.
So I'm glad I missed that bullshit. Okay. Whatever. Okay, so now it's ice fishing day. We see Jen and Stuart setting everything up. Every time I see Stuart, I just see him signing off on his plea deal in my head.
No, I'm with you on that one.
It's so sad that we know all of this is to happen, It just kind of gives you a different perspective on how you look at everything leading up to it. Mm-mm-mm. Whitney and Heather drive together, and Whitney is worried about seeing Lisa for the first time. She does bring out her life vest, the flotation vest, whatever you call it, lifesaver, whatever. She brings that out as a joke, but somehow I feel like she was dead up serious. With
I'm with you
regards
on
to
that one.
Jen. Yeah, I think she's super serious. I have it here. No one's drowning me today. I need to make it back home. Lisa and Jenny are driving together. Did Lisa say that she didn't think Meredith was coming?
You know what? I want to say yes. I think they were all. It's like they were all kind of shocked that Meredith showed up
Exactly.
because remember Mary. Remember when Mary, Meredith, and Brooke were talking. Mary told Meredith, like, this is your end to actually have an open dialogue with her and
Mm-hmm.
let her know this is not okay. Because
Mm-hmm.
at that point, I don't think Meredith was going. So Jen probably assumed Meredith wasn't going, or Meredith told Jen she wasn't going. Either way, they were all kind of shocked when she rolled up.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Heather has to leave early because she has to go to her daughter's drill team competition. Apparently, Jen was on drill team in high school. Lisa and Jenny show up. Let's see. Mary texts Jen that she wasn't coming. And Lisa catches a fish, whatever. But then we see Meredith showing up and doing that big old long walk. And she's there saying, if I knew I had to walk this long, I probably wouldn't have come. But she shows up and she's like she came agitated.
She was ready for a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember when Mary, but remember, when we go back to that conversation, Mary said, "You just need to go and tell her this is not okay. Stop it." So she was
Mm-hmm.
already amped up. So it wasn't a social visit. It wasn't a social thing for her at all.
Mm-hmm. Lisa's hopeful now that Meredith has showed up that Meredith and Jen could have a conversation and work things out. Let's see. So all of the women were sitting down in the little chairs waiting for the fish to come through the holes or whatever. And Jen asked Jenny to switch seats so that she could sit next to Meredith.
Mm-hmm.
They get into it. Meredith pulls out the tweets that and shows Jen the tweets that she liked. And she's just like, look, this is your social media account. It's your verified account. You're responsible for all of the stuff that goes into it. And she's like, no, I have other people to do that. But apparently a lot of the ladies have people doing their
Mm-hmm.
social media. But it's still yours. It's your name on it and it's verified as yours, no matter who's doing it. So in default, you are responsible for everything that goes on to it, right?
Exactly.
I don't know why Jen doesn't get this.
Because she's not. She hasn't made accountable for it, is what I'm gathering.
After this first battle, Meredith walks away. Lisa goes after her to try to bring her back. Meredith, while talking to Lisa, she is so enraged, her glasses fly off. And so she goes back again and she tries to talk to Jen again. And she's like, don't mess with my family. Don't mess with my family. And Jenny is frustrated with all of this. And she goes over there and she's trying to bring it down to basics, saying, do you want to be her friend? And do you want to be her friend? Girl, it's beyond this.
Yeah, you're way beyond that.
Jen somehow throws in the question, well, how do you think my kids feel? Huh? Meredith never said anything about your kids.
Right.
What? Like, I didn't get where that came from. Do you know something about that? Why is Jen bringing up her kids and how they feel? Is Meredith retaliating online with her?
I don't see Meredith doing that at all. Jen is trying to just make it about herself. That's really what it is at this point. Because if you notice, whenever you say something about Jen, and I want to say was Meredith's main frustration with her, is that Jen just can't say, like, you know what, I made a mistake, I apologize. It always has to be like, well, this is what happened to me, and it's frustrating.
Hold on. Ryan says they're trying to make this bullying Meredith storyline so she doesn't have to talk about her estranged marriage.
I'm inclined to agree.
Hey, Raydella, Jen was deflecting.
Yes, I do agree with that. I do agree with that.
And Jen stomps back to the other ladies and says she cannot continue to be blamed for everything. They cannot continue to blame her for everything that goes wrong. But you're usually at the bottom of it.
Correct.
Child. This was a mess. But I learned that I don't want to go ski biking or ice fishing.
Now the ski biking,
no,
I could do. No, just not doing it.
You saw how Jen fell? That'd be me.
Gotcha.
I will be at the chalet sipping spiked hot cocoa.
I was with Heather and Whitney, just watching from afar and sipping on my cocoa. I was with them on that one. I'm like, you guys, I see what you're doing. It's cool. I got you. I've been there too. I'm not getting involved. Not getting involved.
Child, this was a mess. Fishing for the truth. But again, at this point, I don't think I would want an apology from Jen because it's not genuine. And there's a reason why you keep apologizing, because you don't mean it and you keep on making the same errors over and over again. Just stop it and just own what you're doing at this point. The apologies are meaningless. I don't know how long. No, go ahead.
I think that's the thing with this season. It's just gonna be a lot of deflection from Jen, and we're seeing that. Like, she'll apologize, but it'll always have a but attached to it, and that's gonna wear thin with everybody.
How is she gonna be deflecting once the feds come, though?
Yeah, that's gonna be difficult. Oof. Especially when we see she tries to run. I'm just saying.
Well, that was it. Those were the 2 episodes. This was the Housewife Roundup for our good old Monday morning. I wasn't too upset about the 2 episodes. They weren't bad.
Not at all, to be completely honest, because Potomac was really good. Really good, especially towards the end. To me, that made my whole morning. I think with Salt Lake City, I think what I'm trying to do with this show is not look so far forward to Jen getting that phone call. I'm trying to keep it easy.
I can't help it. That's all. Every scene that I see her and Stuart in, it's just like flash forward to the arraignment.
You ready? You want to get to you just like we could just cut this all this out. Let's start here.
Yeah, basically, like I even see her in braids out at the fishing hole. I ain't gonna lie, like and that fur. I Everything is colored for me because I know everything already. Not everything, but we've seen what's happened. So, yeah. Oh, I can't wait till the salad tossing next week. I hope that's next week, but knowing them, it'll be in the last 10 minutes of the show. And that will suck.
Oh yeah, I mean, my worry with this franchise is this. This is what's happening. That we're gonna get that high buildup, and then the season just falls off a cliff after that. If that makes sense. If that makes sense.
Well, that's what happened with Salt Lake City last year.
But in their defense, they did change companies and like while they were filming, so I give them grace on that. They saw something wasn't working, and then they made a change, and it got better as the season went on. So I'm going to give them grace on that. But what they're doing is they're building this up so much. I mean, you can't have Jen getting that phone call, aka potentially arrested, and have that be the mid-season trailer because nothing. If you do that, you've already shown the highlight of the season. You're going to have nothing else after that. So what they're probably going to do, if I'm just saying, if the editing is smart, what you're going to have to do is make that the end of the season. And then what's going to happen is they're going to cover behind the scenes footage at the reunion. So they're probably going to make that reunion 4 parts, and they're going to need that footage not to be shown. I could be wrong, but that's just the way I see it.
What? We're going to have to wait till the end to see the arrest? I just can't.
Here's the thing: if they do it right, because you can't have the high point of your season be mid-season, because what's going to happen is once they show that footage, the rest of the season's numbers are going to go down.
So then, who is Whitney and Lisa talking about? We don't know who she is. We don't know her. Blah blah blah. Like we need to see the fallout of the other women. I want to see Heather thinking that her business is being threatened. I want to see Heather do a Sutton.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right, because in the trailer we saw them having that conversation.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing though. What it could be is that conversation could be when the allegations came out.
What allegations?
Remember everything got leaked to the papers and the blogs, I think, before she got arrested.
It did?
I think the accusations came out before.
Oh, I didn't know.
I'm pretty positive it was being reported before she actually got arrested. And then they were filming. Yeah, it all came out at one time.
Ryan has a good question. When did Salt Lake City filming wrap? Wait, Sunshinery thinks it was Mary who gave the tip that Jen was there too? Oh, child. I think it was Sharif. Yes, Black Lavender, I'm ready for the scandal arrest episode. I'm ready.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm gonna have to do some digging, seeing when did the filming actually take place. But they probably won't release that information because it would give too much away.
I don't know. I think that the juicy part, in addition to the arrest and how it all went down, is going to be the fallout on these women, because I think Lisa has a lot to be worried about.
Oh yeah.
Heather is genuinely concerned, but not because she was in cahoots with Jen, like how I feel Lisa was, because she was the only one who understood that business when Jen explained it at the reunion.
Right.
I still can't figure out what it was that she was saying, but Lisa understood it. That's cause for concern. And do I think Meredith tipped off the feds? No. Nope. I don't think she did it. I think she's like playing around with it, but I don't think she did it. I think somebody from production did.
I don't. You know what? Here's my thought, and how can I put this? I really feel the way things are played. I kind of feel like it was Mary and Meredith together that dropped the dime, because here's the reason why. Is because remember at the reunion, it was Lisa who says, "Oh, Jen." Because Andy asked, like, "Does anyone know how Jen's business works?" And some of them were like, "What?" Heather's like, "I have no clue." Lisa's like, "Oh, yeah, I know. Like, Jen makes lots of money, lots and lots of money." And she's like, "Oh, and if I'm not mistaken, it was her who said, like, oh, and Meredith understands completely how it works."
Why pull that in there? Oh my
Right.
God. But wait, what if the feds had somebody undercover working in production that saw the production schedules?
That too. Like, it was leaked.
Because it's not like this is a new case. Like they've been doing
Watching.
this for years.
Mm-hmm.
From like 18, they said, 2018.
I'm gonna. Yes.
And South District of New York got a lot of resources and talent that they can. I don't know. I just don't think it's Meredith. I think that she's being coy about it because everybody thinks it's her. Because I saw her response on Watch What Happens Live, and I was just like, I don't think she did. I think she's playing around with it because she needs storyline, but I don't think she did it. Remember that. Okay, so you remember it too, Sunshinery. Lisa looks like she's one of those people. Like if she's going down, she's gonna drag everybody with her.
Oh yeah. She's not going by herself.
Mm-mm-mm. All right, guys, let us know your thoughts. Let us know what you think about our theories regarding the rest of the season. Do y'all think the arrest is going to be mid-season, or is it going to be end of season? Let us know what you think. Leave your comments below. Everybody give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate it. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our little corner of YouTube and come and comment with us in the live chat. Thanks for being here with us. And hello, everybody on the replay crew. We really appreciate you catching us if you can't join the lives.
I do have something that I want to add this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see the actual chain of events, because so for the feds have been watching her. We know that. Like that's a given. I want to know, like, who they contacted first to figure, because they had to call someone like her house and they had to speak to someone and know where she was.
They were at the house doing the search warrant.
So they
went there
that's
first.
awesome. So they went there first, but I want to know who told them where she was, because for them to know
That's
exactly.
what Heather wants to know.
That's what I want to know.
And now that I see that the cousin from LA is living with her as her babysitter, I'm thinking it's him who called her on the bus.
You think so?
Yeah, Coach is with his other family. He wasn't there. And you saw she was already making the excuse for him not being there by saying that travel is reopening and Coach will start traveling again. See, very convenient.
You are so funny.
When this all comes out, you have to tell me that, dag Debbie, you called that from the beginning. I just wonder if they're even married at this point.
Oh.
She is up in Shaw Chalet 2.0 all by herself, with the exception of that cousin.
You ain't lying.
And he's just there to make sure she don't walk away.
That too.
Yeah. But anywho, guys, Let us know your thoughts. Weren't they saying it was an aunt who called her? Oh, you think it was the auntie with the
Oh,
bionic legs? Well, were the feds searching multiple homes? Child, this a mess. I still think it was Mary that gave the tip where she would, because she was the one driving for the trip. Ooh. Or maybe Mary did tip them off. So because she's being investigated for something. So they were like, we'll go, we'll give you consideration on your charges if you tell us where she is.
gotcha. Could be.
Good Lord. There's so many options here. And then let's not forget the Roses, Whitney and her husband, they were being investigated for something. What if she gave them the call sheet? I mean, she was threatened.
That is true.
This is turning into like a nice little mystery for all of us to figure out. So everybody, let us know below who you think tipped off the feds on where Jen was. I'd be interested to see y'all responses on this.
Yeah, everybody, please. I'm very interested in this.
My baby was a good one and happy. Oh, hey Kelly. Don't worry, you could always catch us on the replay, and I cannot wait to see your comments later. You always have really good perspectives on things, so I'll be looking out for it. So Whitney looked like she was probably that one. Oh my God. All right, guys. So any final thoughts, Jamal?
No, we're good.
All right. So tomorrow, what are we doing? Mama's Boy, right?
Mama's Boy, yeah.
Okay, so all y'all come join us tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. We getting ready to go and play in the playground. Is Kim gonna take that job in Texas? Child, I hope so. So until next time, Jamal.
Of course.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.